Something really big is happening in India's education system right now, and it all starts with a single, powerful idea, introduced in the very first lesson through a poem. Today, we're going to dive into how this one piece of literature is meant to totally reshape how a generation connects with their homeland. So let me ask you, when you hear that word Swadesh, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it the flag? Maybe your childhood home? Or soldiers at the border? Whatever it is, just hold on to that thought.
You know, the real power of this word, it becomes so clear when you just break it down. The secret's right there in its DNA. Swa means self or own, and Desh means country. So put them together, and Swadesh is simply one's own country, our home. But is a country just a bit of land? Just some lines on a map? Well, the whole concept of Swadesh says no way. It's so much more. It's the soil we grew up on, it's the people, our traditions, our shared history. It's that deep emotional glue that holds everyone together. And this very idea is now front and center in a massive change to the Hindi syllabus for Class 8 students. We're talking a completely new way of thinking about how the next generation connects with their language and their culture. So, one of the biggest changes here is all about simplification and focus. I mean, before, students had to juggle 4 different books. Now, all of that has been brought together into one single new textbook called Malhar. It just streamlines the whole learning process. But here's the thing. This isn't just about switching out some books. It's a total shift in philosophy. It's all aligned with the new national education policy. And it's all about holistic growth, getting kids to think critically instead of just memorizing stuff, and really forging a genuine, meaningful connection to India's culture and heritage. And right at the core of this whole new approach is the very first chapter of that Malhar textbook. This one chapter, believe it or not, really sets the tone for everything else that's going to follow. And the choice for that first lesson, it just says it all. It's the poem Swadesh, written by the celebrated poet Gaya Prasad Shukla, who you might also know by his pen name, Sanehi. This was a writer famous for his incredibly patriotic and socially aware work. So what is it about this poem that's so powerful it was chosen to kick off the entire syllabus? Well, let's break down some of its most important lines to really get its deep emotional message. Okay, this is the line, this is the one that echoes through the entire poem. It's really its central heartbeat. That is not a heart, but a stone, in which there is no love for the homeland. It's such a powerful, direct statement, and it sets up everything the poem is trying to say. So what does that actually mean? Well, the poem creates this really stark contrast. On one hand, you have the heart, which stands for everything that makes us human, right? Emotion, compassion, love. And on the other hand, you have a stone, symbolizing insensitivity, hardness, something cold, lifeless, and uncaring. The poet is essentially arguing that a person who doesn't love their country is, emotionally speaking, like a stone. And the poem just keeps building on this with more and more powerful ideas. It says that anyone who gives up courage can never, ever reach their goal. It argues that a life that can't inspire passion in others is pretty much meaningless. It also celebrates the nation's wisdom, and it reminds us that all the tools we need for progress, well, they're already in our own hands. So when you put it all together, the poem is framing patriotism not as some abstract, lofty ideal, but as a basic human emotion. It's about a feeling of love and duty for the very land that gives us our food, our water, and our sense of family. But why a poem to teach all this? What's the real goal behind this new approach? Let's try and connect the dots and see how this all fits into the bigger educational picture. This diagram, which is right from the textbook, illustrates the goal perfectly. You see Swadesh right there at the center of this web. The whole idea is to move beyond just a single definition. It's about helping students build this rich, interconnected understanding of what it means to belong to a nation, its culture, its history, its people, and the responsibilities that come with it. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, the new syllabus is using powerful literature, like this poem, to teach really complex emotions. It's trying to build a genuine connection, not just have kids memorize a list of facts. The message here is that patriotism isn't always about grand gestures. It's about being a thoughtful citizen, and that even small daily actions like studying hard, helping a neighbor, or respecting your elders are all real meaningful ways of loving your country. And that leaves us with one final, fascinating question. It's a big one, for sure, but it really gets to the heart of what this whole educational shift is all about. How can a single poem placed at the very beginning of a student's journey truly change the way an entire generation thinks about its home?